Record. We're going to review our story from yesterday. Who remembers and who can tell me by raising their hands what story we read yesterday? What was the name of the story we read yesterday? Russell? Russell, unmute your mic. Can you unmute it?
Stone Soup.
Oh, Stone Soup. Very good. Stone Soup. Yes, that is the story that we read yesterday. Adeline, let your sister go so you can listen and learn. Let's go down to the illustrations in Stone Soup. So, it started out with 3 soldiers coming to town. The soldiers were tired and what? The soldiers were tired and Adeline?
Hungry.
Hungry, very good. And one of them said, look, I see a church steeple. That must mean there's a town nearby. They came to town and met a little girl. Or a little girl saw them coming to town before she met them. What did the little girl do when she saw the soldiers walking up the hill? What did she do? Estelle?
She ran to the blacksmith and said, "Blacksmith, blacksmith, there are soldiers outside, I think, and they were very hungry.
Very
We
good.
had to feed them food."
She went to the blacksmith and asked to feed him food. Did he feed them? Did the blacksmith feed them? No. What did he say, Nicole? What did he say? Why didn't he feed the soldiers?
Because he had to feed his family too, but he didn't have that many money to buy those.
Right. He said, I need to finish my job working so I can have money to feed my own family. So he wouldn't help. Finally, she went to all the colonial tradespeople, ending with the baker. Did any of them offer to help? Nope. None of them offered to help. She was sad. And then she met the 3 soldiers. What did one of the 3 soldiers do when she told them that no one in the town could feed them? What did he decide to do? Ryan?
What did you say?
What did the 3 soldiers do when the girl told them that no one in the town could spare any food?
Is it that one of them has an idea and they freezed on wanted to make stone soup?
Yes, exactly. One of them said, I have an idea. We can make stone soup. All we need are 3 stones, a black metal pot, and some water. Was she able to get that? Yeah, they did. What happened after that? Russell?
And the baker said, I have the things we need to use, and everybody put some things into the pot.
Very good. Everyone was curious. They were interested to learn how they could make soup out of stones and water. And everybody contributed a little bit into the pot. And they all had a delicious meal of stone soup. Well, today, this is a folk tale from long ago, from colonial times, over 300 years ago. Today, we're going to listen to a different version of stone soup. And we're going to compare and contrast them. We're going to talk about how they're similar and how they're different. So that was the review of our lesson from yesterday. Let me pull up our read aloud for today. As I am reading, if I were you, I would go ahead and start coloring your kettle, your wood, and your vegetables. You're also going to need another sheet of plain paper.
Miss Kate?
Yes.
Miss Kate, we haven't cut out our stuff.
You don't have to do that. I had just done that ahead of time, but go ahead and color it. Yes, Adeline.
I don't have my thing yet.
Just listen to the story then. As you're coloring, I want you to listen. All right, let's listen carefully to a different version of Stone Soup.
Red Rocket Readers, Stone Soup. Retold by Pam Holden. Illustrated by Kelvin Hawley. Once upon a time, a young man was lost in the thick forest. He walked along the forest path, trying to find the way home. He felt very hungry and thirsty. Suddenly, he saw a small house through the trees. He hurried to the door and knocked loudly. An old woman answered his knock. "What do you want, young man?" she asked. When he told her that he was lost and hungry, she said that she didn't have enough food for herself. The young man was very surprised because he could see plenty of vegetables in her garden. "Would you like me to make you some soup?" he asked. "I love soup. How can you make soup for me?" she said. The young man showed her something that he carried in his pocket. "I will use this," he told her. "But that's just a stone," she said in surprise. "No, it's a special stone called a soup stone," he told her. "If you put a pot of water on your stove, I'll cook you some delicious soup." As soon as the stone was rattling in the pot of boiling water, the young man got a spoon to taste the soup. "Is it ready yet?" asked the old woman. "It's very nice, but I wish I had a carrot to put in it," he said. "I have a few carrots," said the old woman, and she hurried to the garden to get them. Soon they were boiling in the pot with the stone. When the young man tasted the soup again, he said, "It's delicious, but it would be even better if only we had a little bit of meat to put in it." "I've got a tasty piece of meat in the kitchen," said the old woman. Soon, the meat was boiling in the pot. After trying the soup again, he told her, "It tastes very nice, but some milk would make it nicer still." The old woman gave him a jug full of milk. "Here's some milk, and here's a little bit of salt, too," she said. "Is the soup ready yet?" asked the old woman. "It's nearly ready, but I wish I had some peas to put in it," the young man said. She went outside to the garden to pick some peas. "I found a few potatoes and some corn, too," she said when she came back. The old woman put 2 bowls and 2 spoons on the table. "That soup smells really delicious," she told him. "We'll eat a bit of bread with it." "Now it's ready," said the young man. They sat down together at the table to eat the delicious soup. "I didn't know that you could make soup from a stone," said the old woman. "If only I had a special soup stone like yours, I'd never be hungry again." "I'll give you my soup stone," said the young man kindly. "Just remember to put in a few vegetables and some salt to make delicious soup." I must go home to see my family now, said the young man. The old woman showed him the best path to follow. Thank you for the soup stone, she said. Goodbye. The young man smiled as he picked up another stone and put it in his pocket. Good luck, he called.
Okay. So, that was this story. Let's talk about some similarities and some differences. Let's start out with the differences. What was different about this stone soup than the story we read yesterday? Anya?
Well, he didn't go to there was no young girl that went to multiple tradespeople.
Right, there were only two characters in this story. One, a man who was traveling and got lost down the road, and an old woman. In our other story, it was 3 soldiers in an entire town full of colonial townspeople. What's another difference you noticed? Ryan?
Instead of a town, it was one house.
Very good. It was just one house and not tradespeople's or stores. Very good. Estelle?
The beginning of the story, some of the words weren't at the other beginning of the other story we read yesterday.
What do you mean, some of the words?
Like, he said he got lost.
Oh, I see. Yeah, in the other story, the soldiers were just walking home and they stopped because they were hungry. In this story, it was one man and he was lost and hungry. He couldn't find his way. All right. What is the same about these two stories? What's something that's the same? Nicole?
The same is they both the same is they all stay here, make stone soup, and they're all together.
Okay, in both stories, they made stone soup by adding vegetables and meat, and they all ended up happy and eating together. Adeline, what's something else that's the same?
They were hungry in the other story. They were hungry.
Good. Both characters that were kind of the tricksters were hungry in both stories and ended up being able to be full. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take our things and I want you to cut them out. Now remember when we cut, we put our thumb on top and we open shut, thumb on top and open shut. We cut away from ourselves, not toward ourselves. All you have to do is cut the squares out. Don't try to cut around the bold black line, just cut around the dotted line. And cut out your pieces from the story. I'm going to do it too.
Miss Kate?
Yes?
We had issues with joining the link meeting, the Teams meeting this afternoon.
Okay.
So did we miss a lot of things? Sorry, we didn't get the instructions.
Oh, it's okay. We just read another version of Stone Soup, and now we're cutting out our coloring pictures to make stone soup.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Have you recorded this session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm recording it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Miss Kate,
Yes.
you didn't use the computer so you can show it on your table.
I know. For some reason, that adapter isn't working, so I'm showing it this way.
But I'm not either.
Okay. So I'm ahead of you guys, and that's okay because I'm showing you what to do. So I have this extra sheet of paper. You can use a plain white sheet of paper or a colored sheet of paper. It doesn't matter. I'm using this one. The first thing I'm going to do... Yes, Jonyan?
What do we need? I didn't print it out.
You're going to need your stuff to make stone soup.
I didn't make it. It's not printed out yet.
Okay.
Mom, you have to print the stone soup.
Meet your microphone, Jonyan, so we can move on with our class. Okay. So I'm going to glue the wood at the bottom. Remember, when you use your glue, only a teeny bit. I'm just going to put a teeny circle towards the bottom of my page. You can see it there. And then I'm going to put the wood on top of the glue. Now I'm going to add my kettle from the blacksmith. Once again, I put a little bit of glue over the wood, and I can add my kettle over the fire. If you want to color fire on top of the wood, you can do that as well. Now, what was the...
Miss Kate, I'm still cutting out.
I know, all my friends are. I'm going ahead. What was the first thing they put in that kettle? Does anyone remember? Jonyan, stop. What was the first thing they put in the kettle? In the iron pot? It was the stones. So now I'm going to take the stone and I'm going to glue the stone at the bottom of my pot. Yes.
I was getting my paper and glue. Can I see the things that I can glue?
Next came all the vegetables. So what I think I'm going to do is take one vegetable at a time, place a little bit of glue on the back, and kind of put it around my pot. So I'll have vegetables all around the pot of stone soup. There's celery, corn, peas, cabbage, even carrots and a pepper. All you need is a little bit of glue.
The celery.
It's, hold on and I'll show you. So when you're finished, you'll have your stone soup overflowing with vegetables. The celery is over here at the end.
Miss Kate,
Yes.
is this the celery?
Yes.
Miss Kate,
Yes.
why do they call it soup?
Because they thought the soup magically came from a stone. But did it really magically come from a stone? No, all the townspeople worked together as a community. Now, when you're done with your picture, we can talk about the writing. I'm going to pull that up from our Canvas page. Give me 1 second. Oops. Here I pull it up. Okay. All right. So our writing says, blank made a yummy soup with my friends. What am I gonna put in that blank? It's a sight word, a tricky word. Blank made a yummy soup with my friends. Who made a yummy soup with their friends today? Ryan?
I made a yummy soup with my friends.
Exactly right. I. And it's a capital letter. I made a yummy soup with my friends. Good job, Ryan. Okay. Now we have, in my soup, blank put blank, blank, and blank. So in my soup, I put, and what are some things we put in our soup? Let's try to write them down. Who can tell me one thing? Janya, what's one thing we put in our soup?
Carrots.
Carrots. Awesome. What's another thing we put in our soup? Let's call on a friend. Try to call on some different friends. Are we?
The celery.
Celery, or corn or peas, whatever you choose. I might put corn. And for the last one, it's the most important ingredient. It's the ingredient that the man tricked the town with. Does anyone remember what that ingredient was? Russell?
Stone.
The stones. So, and stones. Oh, I need to make my S a lowercase letter. So now our story says, I made a yummy soup with my friends. In my soup, I put carrots, corn, and stones. Now, you can take this and cut it out along the dotted line once you have written it. And I'll show you how I like to attach it. I would attach mine to the bottom of the page. I'm going to take my glue stick, and remember, you only need a strip of glue. So I'm going to make a strip of glue, and I'm going to show it to you. Do you see my strip? Kind of. Down there, it's underneath the logs. I will put my paper on top of the strip of glue, and it still hangs down off the edge, but that's okay. And that will be my finished product of
Miss Kate,
stone soup. Hold on, I'm gonna hang it up so that you can see it.
Miss Kate,
Yes.
is it okay if I put my writing on the back of my paper?
If you choose to, that is absolutely fine. Don't forget to submit your picture, and we can see everyone's work on our discussion board.
Miss Kate,
Yes.